take care of your own guys. I think, like they were saying up top, you know, people who come in, they realize if I do what I'm supposed to do, they're going to take care of me.
Yeah, you guys mentioned the Ayuk stuff too. Sticks it right on Baker. Little hook route to the right. You know, it's amazing to me how
this has probably been the best they've run the ball on this drive with a couple run plays that I've hit.
Good movement. Look out. Get out of here. Fans love it. They love
there
it.
There he goes. First and 10, a second first and 10, you end up in a first and 15. And running, but the big thing was Joe Miller stepped up in the pocket, looking down the field to get rid of the ball. As he pump fakes and almost loses it, probably helpful to have those big mitts on the ball. Then he runs, though, but...
You guys are the same age. Oh, nice look. Oh, man. That's a dog.
And he was covered by a linebacker. I was saying, it might have been Masal trying to cover a wide receiver, deep crosser.
Draw to Baki, makes one man miss inside the 30. And a good run there to the Giant 27-yard line.
And they got Jace, rookie out of Alabama, running back. But deep, he has an open, clean midfield. And final now by Bob with help from 40-yard guard. And that's, they pick up 13 and they're knocking on the door. Washington wrapped up and taken down. Big play by, he can flat out fly. Number 25, little end around. This is Washington with room. 40, midfield, and down at the 46-yard line of the Falcons. He is something else. Second and 15, Penix over the middle. Washington is open, and that's a first down.
The quarterback's coach that talked to him about that and talked about diet and all the different things, working out, getting some different exercises that are going to help him be a little bit more shifty in the backfield and do some of those things. So I think there's an abundance of those guys in this football team that's going to pay dividends down the road.
Here's Wright again. Hits the hole. Gets the first down. Knocked out of bounds. 5'11", 210 with sprinter speed. Jalen Wright gets the call again. Left side again. Wright stays on his feet. He's got another first down.
I told you that challenge was wrong.
Here's Jalen Wright up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown! The rookie out of Tennessee in the end zone.
You know, I think that the balance of the veterans and the rookies that they've brought in, or the young guys they brought in, really have done a good service to the team.
Look out! Here goes Wright. Inside the 40 for the first down.
Gets the chance to show what he can do in a game. Pickett will throw. Plenty of time. Slings it, and it's broken up by Nate Wiggins.
Terrell Austin, defensive coordinator, want his team to come up with a play, a takeaway at this point. Here comes a blitz. Beanie Bishop had blitz. That is Cade Stover. It's an inside handoff there, and it's Jordan again. Jordan, this time to the outside, gets a nice bit of blocking. That's a 10-yard gain.
Third down and 8. Pickett going down the far sideline, and it's off the back of Nate Wiggins, who had plaster coverage, Rod. Kenny Pickett to throw. Flush from the pocket, slings it, and it is broken up by Nate Wiggins again. What an opening series for the Ravens' first-round draft pick. John Harbaugh here at age 37. And his pass is broken up. Pickett on the rollout, finds Shipley, and he finds the end zone. Third down and 2. Johnson to throw. Extending, running, tripped up and taken down at the line of scrimmage by Dayton Hall for an 11-yard gain and a Ravens first down. There he throws, back to Wade, he's to the 10, the 5, and he's down to the 4-yard line. Right side. Quarterback sneak.
He's in.
Devin Leary in for the touchdown.
Spread it out on third down. Daniels pulls the trigger, looking for the deep ball down the sideline, and it's hauled in. De'Ami Brown, great snag for the first down.
But you see here, this is the element he brings to this. LSU, yeah, dynamic passer, but when you got an Eckler and a combination there, nice job by the receiver clipping the slot defender there, Jalen Key. You see the tight ends coming off. They were able to really lock the edge, bigger body.
Taylor, quick hitter underneath. It's Corley. He tried to double back the other way. Washington sniffed it out. Fourth down for the Jets. It's a loss of 1.
Keeping the standard, and then taking it to the next level. Speaking of the standard, 1 year we talked, and you talked about keeping the main thing. Agent Zero right there. What's that? Agent Zero. I'm excited to see that man play.
It's Allen again. First down. Long strides for Allen. Bang down inside the 35. Davis had 18 touchdowns for the Jackrabbits last season. Peasley connects. Davis after the catch inside the 15. 2nd and 2 for Washington. Surratt got up on his own. Rodriguez gets hit behind the line of scrimmage by Stiggers, pressing the line. The door is open just a bit, potentially, for the third preseason game against the Giants. Wide open downfield, Ben Sinnott. They're very high on Sinnott, and you can see why. Carrying tacklers with him. Huge play for Washington. In the pocket, Hartman delivers. Sinnott with a stiff arm and a first down after the catch, creating 13 yards. That'll move the chains for the Commanders. It was a 4th-round pick in 2019. Hartman going through his reads. And a BB over the middle. It's caught for a first down by McCaffrey.
Williams with time, standing in the pocket, now fires and completes it to DJ Moore. Ed Oliver out of the blue medical tent on the Buffaloes sideline. He'll stay there for this first down and 10 play. Pressure coming. Williams flicks one and completes it to Swift into Buffalo territory. And he's tripped up around the 20-yard line. Taylor Rapp on the tackle from the 12-yard line. Keenan Allen in motion. Williams on the run, connects with DJ Moore. A stiff arm to pick up the first down and still going. Finally wrestled to the ground by DeMar Hamlin. Now in the Bills Wall of Fame, Steve Tasker. Williams play action, fakes it. Smoot doesn't buy the fake this time, and Williams connects. What a throw by Caleb Williams. 3rd down and 9. Play clock at 1. Williams takes the snap out of the shotgun. Steps up. He's going to run it. Williams off to the races. First down and more. And as he learned doing the slip and slide, as we saw in Hard Knocks, he wisely gets down with a first down run.
If he would have run to the right, he could have had a chance to get rid of that down the field. There were some guys that were there.
Bills thought this play was going to be blown dead. Instead, Trubisky is blown up. Daniel Hardy with the 3rd down sack, but the offensive line froze. And you think back to the preseason a year ago when Hamlin was returning to the field. There were so many questions. How's he going to look? How will he handle contact as Bouchel goes down? And now you fast forward a year.
Alexander Madison, the former Vikings, in the game at tailback. He's 22 as O'Connell goes back to pass. Fires over the middle. It's caught at the 35. That's the rookie Brock Bowers. Look out, he's good.
But he being able to churn out another 2, 3, 4 yards. That's what you want out of a back who's going to touch the ball 30 times a game.
O'Connell play action. Dallas Turner hit him, but he got it off. Pass right, caught Bowers 15. He'll get to the first down and more.
Neither team choosing to run the football deep in the red zone.
O'Connell back to pass. He's hit, and he's sacked. That's number 1 for Dallas Turner. It's only preseason, but it's the first of many sacks to come.
as he becomes stronger, I think Rouse might be a starter in this league.
J.J. McCarthy, here's his first pass. Fastball over the middle, caught Jalen Naylor at the 50. Jalen Naylor gets back the penalty yardage and more. 18-yard connection.
Going into this season with Aaron Jones as your starter, there's going to be a need for 2 and 3 running backs. So he's going to have plenty of opportunities, I think, this year to start running the football.
McCarthy play action, fires left, caught Tristan Jackson, and McCarthy got hit as he unfurled the ball.
At Wake Forest and then switched to guard his senior year and did a great job.
They blitzed McCarthy. He bounced off it, and now he gets loose across the 50 to the 46 of the Raiders. That's a run of 8 yards. Good for a Vikings first down.
Can they hold their own and set the edge when you get a linebacker or a safety blitzing up inside?
JJ has thrown an interception, goes back to pass, throws to the right, caught Tristan Jackson at the 25. First down for the Minnesota Vikings. Gardner Minshew, 3rd and 8, 10-point lead. Going to try a screen left side, but it was batted away at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be incomplete. Brown Jr. out of the shotgun, 3rd and 19, and they're going to run it. It's a nice run, but it's going to be far shy of the first down for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Try to pick out that third receiver.
McCarthy, shotgun on 3rd down. Raiders blitz again. Pass over the middle.
Catch, Nick!
Good catch, Nick Muse.
Good catch, Nick!
Yep.
And, I think I'm going to be the Jets, man. I think I'm going to keep... Oh, there we go.
Oh, here it is.
He's been balling, too. Hey, them LSU guys. Hey, it's on. Oh, there we go.
I mean, are you kidding me, Justin? Under center, Trent Sherfield Sr., veteran, short motion to the right, play action.
Got him!
Had that game-winning drive that led to a Dustin Hopkins walk-off field goal, and now hopefully he can get started with a little screen.
That is John Kelly. Gets it and gets a first down, but he loses the rock, and Green Bay is on it.
So we did talk to your old Ohio State teammate, Mike Hall Jr., about your hoops game. You have any guesses on what he said?
I don't know. He probably said I can hoop a little bit.
David, you're not supposed to let them post anything until you already get the papers.
I didn't know what I was doing until I did it,
You know, the best thing that a tight end could ever do against a linebacker is hold him. So ask Vrabel if he's teaching those tight ends how to hold.
Well, there is the best pass play of the day as Thrash catches it and gets it inside of Packers territory. Great perspective there, Aditi.
Trask, handoff, Irving, Magazine got into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Well, you guys loaded up the safety room. You get Dino Stone from Baltimore, and then you bring back Von Bell. On the side, but there is Trask. Fires. That is picked up. Pulled in by Josh Newton.
Wolford out of the gun. Wolford is sacked. Zach Taylor wanted to see more pressure on the quarterback.
Those competitive juices and that edge to you, but it's something that can really carry into the regular season, and that's how it's being coached during training camp.
As one of the veteran leaders on this defense, what have you been stressing to some of the younger guys, especially in the secondary?
On to Tennessee, then Atlanta. Woodside throwing deep to college free agent showing out on this drive. Wolford looks, delivers over the middle into the zone at the 25. Keeping his feet. And Jefferson into the red zone as we hit the 2-minute warning.
What a run.
Lachlan, the tight end, motions right. Woodside, pressure up the middle. Woodside going deep down the left side. Wolford, Jefferson.
There you go.
Continuing the push toward the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Chiefs with just a single high safety here on 3rd down. Beathard to throw. Pocket collapsing, turns and launches down the field. He's looking for Brian Thomas, and Thomas pulls it in at the 40-yard line. with the corner and a safety coming over the top. And Book is going to throw. Step up, try to get out of the pocket. And there are Jaguars there. Tyler Lacey covered him up.
There's a lot of quickness to him, and they're hoping he can seize this job. Presley Harvin punts it away. A lot of wide receivers trying to make this team. Beautiful spiraling punt. Fielded at the 10. Jaquan Jackson making something happen here. Second big return of the night for the Titans. First on a kickoff return, now on a punt return.
I know they're going to find a way to get open, and when all else fails, you go find one of them.
Tennessee was 7 out of 10 on third down. That's not going to get it done. They're kicking the ball around, and San Francisco eventually comes up with that one.
A tremendous example he was.
So on a 3rd and 10, stick in the air and nearly intercepted off the hands of Johnson. Kobe Bryant nearly had his second pick. And here comes a blitz and swatted at the line of scrimmage. Ty Shelby gets his mitt on it.
Michael Carter in here on 3rd down. Ritter back to throw. Dumps it off, but they'll be short of the line to gain. Xavier Weaver on the catch, McKinstry on the tackle.
Now, I could be wrong on that, David, but I think he's really grown very, very well here in year 2.
Rattler steps up from the 4. Rattler, everybody covered. Rattler taking off. Heading for the pylon, drilled though out of bounds. So now the Saints with all their timeouts, down a point, trying to get the field goal range. Spencer Rattler back to throw. And it's a strike for a first down to Morgan to the 38, a gain of 13.
Now makes his Indianapolis Colts debut. Trey Sermon in the backfield with him. Catch made, first down. That is A.D. Mitchell, the 2nd round draft pick. Lara, thank you. Perine, the 3rd down back, is in there for Denver. Nix is looking that way and has a man. That should be a first down. And because of trying to get the younger quarterback some reps, Nix throws, touchdown. Touchdown grab for Denver. Marvin Mims Jr. on the touchdown reception.
They are playing a heavy front, which I hope becomes a part of their defense.
McLaughlin by his lonesome. First down. Spins away from the tackle of Trevor Denbo. Abraham over to make the play. Play clock is at 12 as the Broncos get set. And just slam it with Estime and touchdown.
Second effort. Leo made a good hit in there behind the line of scrimmage, but it wasn't enough.
I want to show that I am back. What do you need to see from yourself over the course of the preseason to be ready for that week 1 against Houston?
Man, whenever I do get my opportunity, oh, snap. But whenever I get my opportunity, I just got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, well, our backup defenders just haven't stopped him. They haven't even slowed him down. Okay, end zone.
From the goal line at Gould. Gets a seal block from Cleveland, bounces it outside, and will be steered by Lutz towards midfield, but by far the best return for either side today's game.
They're going to run. They'll run something quick here just to try to get back. Quick flat out there trying to, missed tackle.
And with that, first down and more, and Watson gobbles up all kind of yardage.
2nd and 11, Rams backing up 5 after the Rivers run. Over the middle, it's Whittington who breaks the tackle. Jordan Whittington inside the 20, inside the 10. Went to Ohio U, put up good numbers in here trying to make the Rams. Bennett on 3rd down, has time, has Whittington, and he's got another one. Has another Rams first down. Tackle there by Wanye Thomas.
There it goes. Yeah.
It's like they're bringing pressure. 3rd long. No sacks here. There you go. Nice play. Great call.
There you go, a little excitement by your quarterback. Get excited over that.
We talked about it on the last drive, going the wrong way. Then we saw him pick up the nice run and lower his shoulder. Good opportunity where they're letting him throw the ball around here a little bit. He has no chance on that one right there on the drop back.
See if they got it.
crowd getting into the game.
That'll be some sort of pick play.
Man-to-man on defense.
There it is. One pick. A lot of Eagles fans. Good pick play. Misdirection, little play fake, motion. 2nd and 22.
Jay, how scary is it when you see a guy out there on the field like Keon White and he has no gloves on?
Oh, what a call here. Perfect call, screen pass. Picks up about 19 of those 22 yards.
Josh Johnson under pressure, hit and sacked back inside the 40-yard line.
Only 9 snaps for Caleb Williams and the starters, so they're going to keep him out there and go with a little bit of trickery with Roma Dunze. And there he goes off the little end around. He averages about 4.3, 4.4 per carry. Williams with a nice quick strike that time, and it's good for a first down out past the 25-yard line. On 2nd and 10, this is a shot position here from the 48. He's looking downfield, nothing there. Spins away, throws on the move. It is caught! Roma Dunze. Williams, pressure coming, he felt it. Looked, saw it, evaded it, still on the move, looking around. Williams is going to take off for the end zone!
Jones down the sideline. Neighbors, a leaping grab and a tiptoe to get his feet in. That's a first down.
You just tip your cap, and you see why they talked about Malik Neighbors the way they did during draft and why, like you mentioned.
But you also see that acceleration from the time he makes a decision to cut. You see that, and you've seen that with him today.
2nd and goal, British. Brooks the carry into the end zone for the touchdown.
Knowing that another team's going to pluck them away, that just means that you have that kind of talent. You have that type of depth.
Here's British. Brooks to the outside, and Brooks into the end zone for his second.
They may have jumped. Could be a free play here. Mahomes going down the field. Worthy's wide open. He's got the football. Xavier Worthy gets it to the Lions' 37-yard line.
You play well, you're going to get opportunities. That's what Andy's all about.
3rd down, Wentz going down the field to the end zone, wide open receiver, caught, touchdown Chiefs. Xavier Worthy, his first NFL touchdown. Sudfeld with time, delivers. Vaki makes the catch, makes a guy miss, first down and more. As Vaki is finally forced out of bounds. Actually, he stays in the field of play, gets it to the 35.
2 receivers to the right, and Pierre Strong remains in the backfield. Robinson going to throw it. He just gets it into Thrash, who makes a move, gets a great block, and gets it inside the 30.
Play action. Plummer off his back foot, floats it perfectly. The rookie out of Texas, J.T. Sanders.
Handoff goes to Benson. Benson finds a seam. Benson has a first down, and Nick Cross has to bring him down. Alubi offers help as well, but that's a pickup of 14 yards. It led me right to it. A glimpse into the possible future of Colts fans right there.
We're not going to do that in the preseason, but that will be the lead principle.
Bean has to avoid pressure and goes down. Sack is made by Xavier Thomas. Bean slings it again, looking for Montgomery, and was it picked off?
Yes.
Looks like it.
Taylor, this is one of my favorite players in the draft right now from last year. He's a Morse Reservoir All-Star.
Obviously, we don't want to have to punt too much, but when he's been in there, he has done a heck of a job.
Bean on the keeper, and he is rocked at about the 24-yard line. He might get back to the line of scrimmage.
Bell and Ogba. Daniels, quick throw. McLaurin's got it, shakes the tackle across midfield down the sideline, cuts it inside, and a big shoulder by David Long. But they go to the 35-yard line, and that's a gain of 20 yards. So Daniels operating the Washington offense. Fake the handoff to Eckler, keep it himself. There goes Jaden Daniels to the 50-yard line. Marcus May took him down. Now they're deep at just a lot of positions. Safety's another one.
Corners.
Complete over the middle as Daniels finds his tight end, Bates. for a Washington first down. Well, that's what we're trying to do. You know, you're so good at the trivia, we've got to throw some, tough ones at you. Driscoll deep over the middle, and McCaffrey's got it. Brandon Peelian on that defensive line, the undrafted free agent, second year. And look at that. Chop Robinson. Welcome to South Florida. Robinson and Kamara, the two rookies on the edge. And there's Mo Kamara. So after Robinson, the first-round pick, makes a play, Jalen Phillips loves it. Mo gets in there in the backfield. The Dolphins have it at the Washington 10. Brooks gets the call that time, met in the backfield, and they'll take him down for a loss of a couple. And he's going wide right. Thompson doesn't have a man open, will scramble, buying time, under pressure, and he's taken down back at the 15-yard line.
You got to play in there, and he's one of those candidates going to be have an opportunity to do that.
Washington's got an opportunity. Flags come in to the 20, 25. Malik Washington with a good return. Let's see what the penalty is.
There's going to be some kind of hold on the Dolphins.
Dolphins spread it out here for Mike White on second down. And White is hit, and that ball is loose. Free football. And Washington falls on it. Second down and 5. McSorley, the former Penn State quarterback. They hand it off to Allen. He fumbles. That ball is loose, and the Dolphins have it. First turnover of the game by Washington, and McMorris with the recovery.
In 445 NFL kicks, Trubisky goes to Keon Coleman. Pitt fans remember him out of Florida State University, a second-round pick this year. All right, so it's a new set of downs now. Again, handoff up the middle to the man who's making it happen, Davis. Davis sheds some tacklers, and he goes deep into Steeler territory. Kyler McMichael is there again, but that's 19 yards for the rookie.
Four-man rush. In trouble as he tries to step up. Fumbled the football. Sprung forward on the 21-yard line. It looks like Seattle got in there to get it.
Those are guys with a real chance to play now with that opening in the lineup.
McClendon wearing 96, Coburn 91. I'll guarantee you Paul McClendon will tell you he could still play tight end.
Third down and 2. More linebacker blitz. Good job by Howell. This is a first down. Seattle just inside of Tennessee territory.
He wants to try and angle it a little bit more when they're covering tonight.
See if Mason Rudolph can make it back-to-back touchdown drives there. That won't help. Pretty leaky up front on Jabari Small.
And have a chance to make this team.
Titans bring 4. Walker steps up into a pocket, and down he goes. Titans defensive line stepping up there when they had to have it on third and pass.
Play action pass on first down. He's got a completion right out of the gate to Whittington, who is the real star of the show. Vidal on the give. Vidal slipping through. That's a big gain. Smash mouth football. What the Chargers want to do with Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh. Rams looking for their third down conversion of the day on 3rd and 4. Bennett pumps, Bennett fires, wide open, Whittington with space to run across the 30, spun down by Thomas Harper.
Mack surveys the corners, backing off, takes a drop, blitz is coming, now he's on the run. And he'll turn and sling it, he's got a receiver, and the catch is made by Brian Thomas Jr. on the sideline. Second and goal from the 6-yard line now, 24 seconds remain. Bucks trying to do something positive before they head back to the Bay Area. Trask wants to run. He plants, turns, and he lofts this one. Oh! And it's tipped and broken up. That's Trey Prince.
Again, Trey Lance's legs, such a factor. He is going to throw. The open receiver. Touchdown, Dallas. The rookie flowering away. Got behind Jack Jones. And the Cowboys going front 9-6.
Out of the eye. Motion Lucas Kroll. Kroll had a nice preseason game last week. Here's Nix with some time. Able to complete. Adam Troutman. It's a first down for the Broncos.
Troy Franklin, when I watched the film, he's been open, so could see him be a target a couple more times tonight.
Walker's in there now. And it's Patrick again. I mean, it's so interesting because in all these interviews and private workouts, and you're sort of expecting the unexpected. Javonte Williams out of the backfield. Another first down as Denver offense moving out just shy of midfield. 3rd down and 9. From the 46. Here's Nix. A little bit of a pass rush. Zips it in there. What a throw by Bo Nix for the first down. On 2nd and 10. Nix wants to throw. Zips one in. Wide open. Cortland Sutton. Inside the 5. Robert Rochelle brought him down.
Jaleel McLaughlin looked for a second like he had a shot at the end zone, but was stopped quickly.
Now throwing for it. And caught for the touchdown. Tim Patrick will in 3rd down and 3. For Michael Pratt, 4-year starter at Tulane. Trying to keep a drive alive. Under pressure, he's going to be taken down. And the ball comes out as well. Pratt is sacked. Looked like Jonah Ellis might have gotten there first. Denver says they have the football too. And they do.
He had a heck of a game in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. It's 3rd and 7. Carr out route, looking for the first down, and it's broken up. Excellent job by Renardo Green. This is track star in high school. He was able to stay step for step with Gray. 3rd and 10. Dobbs the pump. Dobbs the throw. Separation outside. It's caught. Jacob Cowing right on cue.
We're still figuring this thing out, so I'm following him.
Wait till about week 5 when these special teams coaches get comfortable. Jacob Cowing on the end around. How about the speed? This is what Cowing brings. He's one of the fastest guys on this 49er roster.
Jake Browning, who did a nice job last year down the stretch. Again, under pressure, and down he goes at the 43-yard line. Latu, who was the first defensive player picked in the draft. 2nd down and goal. Under pressure, throws, caught, and a touchdown.
Any glaring issues with it?
We appreciate you, Jonathan.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kaylee, and thank you, Jonathan. Good interview. There's Jermaine Burton, but a flag comes in at the end of the play.
Burrow was still coming off of that calf. They weren't really quite sure what they had. They were very careful with him. Really wasn't until the Arizona game in week 5.
Does he make the catch? That's Jermaine Burton. Yep.
Just sees him playing faster.
Carson Steele from his own 7-yard line. Across the 20, across the 30. And he rumbles to the 38-yard line.
Like I have on the college side and the pro side with the scouting staff, I got a great, salary administrative staff with Chris Shea and Jack Walla. So again, it's a bunch.
That's off the Bears. That's going to be 1st and goal. Ariza with the nice little wedge inside the 10. And then off the Bears, and it sets up 1st and goal.
You may get tackled, Matt, if you start beating the drum in the middle of the game, though. I don't know.
That's Carson Steele. Look at him just rumbling inside the 35 to the 31-yard line. Give him the football again. Here he goes. Carson Steele breaking tackles with the stiff arm. Inside the 10, the 5. Is he in? Steele to the right of Oladokin. 1st and goal at the 1. To give to Steele, and he's in for 6. Touchdown, Chiefs.
But that's the 3rd guy we've seen down. 1 for the Bears getting carted off, and 2 for the Chiefs now.
Wheeler, no place to go. Well defended by the Chiefs. Jaden Hicks makes another play.
Could see Andy use one of his timeouts here if they get a stop.
Ripping, that's incomplete.
Now you don't have to.
Jaden Hicks knocks the ball.
Lawrence with time over the middle, completes it this time to Thomas, and Thomas is across the 35. A big gain here for Jacksonville.
Coming up on it at the 20, Washington with room. Malik Washington across the 40 and up near midfield.
The young guys could deal with his expectations, and the older guys love it.
Malik Washington is still going. All the way up across midfield before he's thrown out of bounds.
We've been here for a couple of months.
Malik Washington, he can fly. He's shown us that he's shown toughness after coming back from a big hit. Second gear across the 40. Running through Buccaneers across the 45. What a return. One of the better we've seen in the preseason. Up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on 3rd down and 3. Time for Thompson. Throws. Open. Touchdown. Hank Marucci has a Dolphin score. 5 sacks last week. None in their opener. Pressure coming. Oh, and they're going to get another one. It's Chris Braswell.
I mean, not that the others didn't have options, but Mike.
Sean Tucker gets a block. He's inside the 10. To the goal line. Sean Tucker has
put him up.
Call it a touchdown. Would you want this in the regular season? Trask is looking. He's throwing. Oh, he's got him. Did he hang on? Touchdown Bucs. Tanner Canoe.
He has a kick returning. You have to have a knack for him. He seems to have that.
Guerrero trying to answer. Isaac Guerrero breaks tackles. Sam Webb trying to chase him down and will knock him out of bounds at the 5, but not before a 92-yard return by the rookie out of Louisville. To the end zone, and it's caught.
Great throw.
Dobbs threads the needle to Jacob Cowing, the rookie out of Arizona with a 10-yard touchdown grab.
Yeah, we're just trying to feed the front, feed that defensive front the best we can.
That ball's on the turf.
That's hot, too.
That is. And it looks like the Raiders have their second takeaway of the night. Now they will undo the pile there, and that's the new guy who's hoping to be a lot of on the other side on the field. And the Raiders do have the takeaway.
2nd down and 2. Young with time over the middle, and he's got a man. That's Jatavion Sanders.
Quarterback Josh Johnson has Collier back there again. 2nd down, 9. Pursued well, knocked down on the play. Looked like Hopper got in there, blew it up. Collier taken down. Merriweather is the back. Rookie quarterback Pratt. Blocked by Caleb Jones with a tackle in the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Bo Melton! Pratt with the beauty, and the Packers have taken the lead in an 18-yard touchdown pass. And the Ravens with the 1st and 10. Pressure applied, dumps it on the wing, fumbled on the play by Sharp, picked up on the play by Young. Packers get another turnover. Big time hit, Jordan 3.
Kalen King coming up from the corner position. Watch him put his hat right on that football. And sometimes you come up and you make a big hit and you don't wrap heat.
I'm telling you, I like Cam Akers, boys. Clinton, Mississippi's own. He has been a stud in camp thus far.
Akers will get the carry again. Runs into the arms this time of Brennan Jackson.
1st down for the Birds, 29. Opening drive for the Vikings. Going up on top. Perfectly thrown ball, and it is caught, but out of bounds. Kevin O'Connell has seen what he's going to see out of his group, and how about that? The Gene getting inside, making a play. That's a loss of 2. Same 5 guys up front, entire game so far. And right down the middle, it's going to be 1st down yardage. Pinpoint throw right at Anias Smith, I should say, down to the 19.
Into his range. That 40 would give you a 58-yard attempt again. Stick on target. It's Johnson who holds on for the 1st down. Oh, this could be a free play. Stick on the hard count and the completion over the middle to Cornelius Johnson, who is spilled out across the 35, but a big gainer for this Chargers offensive 16. 2nd and goal. Looking end zone. Lance puts it up. Oh, it's brought in. Beautiful catch by Flournoy. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Watch the fade route here. Watch 18 with a push right there. Gets away with it, then gets the ball for the score. That right hand pushes
Hankins away, and that's all he needed to get separation.
Either way, first down. Stick, quick drop, knocked away, batted twice and picked off. First turnover of the day for the Chargers. Finally taken in by Julius Wood, and the Cowboys have a little momentum back early in the third.
Really smart. He's been a sponge. He told us that he's just taking it all in. He's got great guys to learn from in Sauce and Reed. DeVito dunked again. Jets continue to put pressure.
Makes the play here. Taylor with the push from the inside. These are young guys, two undrafted rookies combining for the sack of Tommy DeVito, who was starting games late in December last year.
From Cedar Grove, facing a 3rd and 26.
More
DeVito.
Jets.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. McGregor. 4th down, 4 sacks for the green and white.
Look, it's the strength of their team.
It's preseason.
Yeah, he'll have that in the regular season.
2nd and 10.
Nice play.
Jets ready for it. Leonard Taylor gets to Dante Miller behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Peasley faked the handoff. He's going to throw it.
I dig it. I dig it. Let's go.
Peasley.
It's got him.
Got his man.
Rodgers wants it.
Brandon Smith. But it's ruled incomplete, out of bounds.
Rodgers engaged as anyone on that sideline right now.
Browns just get it off. DTR wide open. Jamari Thrash pushed out of bounds by Kobe Bryant, but got a first down and a whole lot more.
I've got flags before, so I know about the energy that comes with this field.
You can have that same energy, but just do not. Oh, man.
And what a pass from DTR to Jamari Thrash. That was absolutely beautiful. Thrash got behind the defense, and this crowd quieted quickly on that play. Play clock about to expire. Just able to get the play off. No flag. Thompson Robinson has a lot of room, and we know he can run. And he gets taken to the turf by DJ James. Great open field tackle by the rookie out of Auburn.
So the receiver can run through the contact and get extra yards.
Not phased by the 12s, by the noise. Airing it out to the end zone, just off the hands of his intended receiver. That was Darden again.
Jacobson, tight end, setting up on the far side. Pocket's good for Rattler. Corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Held on that time. St. Brown with the score. And a perfect throw in the corner.
Now, it's hard to evaluate based on this game solely because of the drop passes.
Waiting as well in the backfield. And a good runner. Send the tight end over to the same side. Not much available, but Cabote's in.
Pre-game talks of not only is he evaluating the guys that are on his roster, there's across the board, there's opportunities, and they're looking at other players as well.
And it's in. Grabbed and a touchdown. The wide receiver is Bryce Oliver, the rookie out of Youngstown State. Shift the fullback into kind of a wing back over to the right side on the deep drop after the play fake. And going for the bundle, wide open. Got it inside the 5. Perry hangs on.
Rattler with the arm strength to get him the ball inside the 5 and finishing it with a touchdown.
Yes. Touchdown Cabote. It is fitting because he has been that hard on the ground and worked that hard. 4th and needs a little more than 2. Haskins, time, touchdown Tennessee. It's Bryce Oliver again, who he found earlier for a long score.
Stidham's first pass attempt, and he locates Estime out of the backfield. He slips a tackle and picks up a first down. Samaje Perine, who was a big part of their offense last year, in danger of not making this roster, partly because of the emergence of Estime. They ride Estime here, trying to get in the end zone, and he does! Opening drive, touchdown for the Broncos, and they lead at 6-0. Beatty on 3rd and 1. Beatty is not going to get there. Good job by the Arizona defense led by Elijah Jones. 3rd and 7. Wilson over the middle, and Franklin's got it for a first down.
And then he turns around and does that.
The one thing we know is he can get through adversity. He's seen that early on in his career.
Wilson's in the shotgun on 2nd and goal. To the end zone. Bandy could not hold on.
Bailey Zappi here as well. Washington bails out of pressure, and May pulls it down and takes off. Gets a first down past the 25-yard line. Out to 26. Handling the check at the line. Play action with pressure. And throws. Beautiful. On time and on target to Jalen Polk. Rookie to rookie inside the 40. Down to the 36-yard line. Kevin Harris, the running back, 3rd and 8. May finds space. Good touch. And held on to by Demario Douglas.
But you got to win football games. This is pro football.
Pressure again. He fires. Getting out of tackle. Kevin Harris to the end zone. And in for the touchdown. Kevin Harris made a man miss. And the 3rd-year man out of South Carolina takes it to the end zone on a very nice drive executed by Drake May.
I think that's the reason we've seen those two guys really jump front and center.
Down. May able to swing it out complete across the 25 to the 28 to Jermichael Hasty.
We did that as a team and as a city because of both of you guys.
3rd and 9. Milton stepping up, taking off. Joe Milton on the run. In the 36-yard line.
He's been doing so to come back together and be a part of this amazing organization. I think it's really cool. But also, touchdown!
Good call, Bobby. It is. Michael Wiley.
I'm doing an interview. I got to stay calm. Sorry.
When those guys got traded away, this defense really just was not the same.
Sweat to Chicago, Young to San Francisco. Pressure picked up. Milton pass is caught. That's Matt Landers, waived by Cleveland on Monday, signed by New England, and to the 33-yard line.
They were playing out there tonight. I'll tell you who else is playing. Trace McSorley.
He's slinging it. Back shoulder. Come back and get it. Rosemy Jack Saint.